Okay, so I've been thinking a lot about professional sports lately. And, something's been bugging me. Like, we're here in Chennai, right? March 2025.
Yeah.
IPL fever's everywhere. Season 18? That's like almost 2 decades of this.
Lazy. Right.
And for the longest time, I just assumed the way it worked was you win and the money follows. Win trophies, build prestige, sponsors flock to you, like a simple equation.
Makes sense. Yeah. The classic formula.
But the IPL, man, it's like it's playing by a whole different set of rules. It's almost like it's flipped the script entirely.
Yeah, it's funny when you really dive into it. The IPL has kind of managed to disconnect winning from financial success. Like they're not totally dependent on each other. It's a weird thing, right?
Yeah.
Not what you'd expect in a global sports league.
Totally. I mean,
Okay.
think about the big names, the ones with all the trophies. Chennai Super Kings, Mumbai Indians, Kolkata Knight Riders.
Yeah.
13 championships between them out of 17 seasons.
Yeah, they're the dynasties, right? The ones you expect to be at the top.
Yeah.
Every single season.
Exactly. But then you've got Royal Challengers Bangalore.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel for their fans. I really do. Year after year, they come so close, you know?
Heartbreakers.
Total heartbreakers, multiple finals appearances, but never that elusive trophy. And you'd think, right, that at some point, that lack of winning, it would catch up to them financially.
Yeah, you'd assume. In most sports, if you're not winning, fan engagement drops, sponsors get skittish, the money dries up, it's a slippery slope.
Exactly. But here's the thing. In 2024, RCB's valuation, it didn't just hold steady, it shot up to $227 million,
Yeah.
a 16.4% increase. And they didn't even make the playoffs that year. It's almost like a joke how much they defy the usual logic.
It really makes you wonder what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Like, what's the secret sauce? It's not just about wins and losses. There's something else at play here, something
Yeah.
maybe even stronger. Could be that fan loyalty,
Yeah.
a certain mystique. I don't know, but it's definitely not the same story you see in, say, football or basketball.
And then there's the ticket prices in Bengaluru. Have you seen these things?
Yeah, kind of crazy.
42,000 rupees for a general admission ticket.
Yeah, that's more than just a cricket match, right?
Way more. It's like, are you going to watch cricket or are you buying into some kind of ultra exclusive experience where cricket just happens to be on in the background? It's like a luxury concert or something.
Totally. That kind of pricing, it tells you something. Those fans, they're committed. And maybe they're not as worried about the wins as they are about just being part of the RCB thing. The whole experience, that's a powerful brand.
So that's what we're really diving into today. Why is it that in the IPL, you can seemingly rake in the cash, even if you're not winning championships? It's like the opposite of everything we thought we knew about pro sports. This isn't just about analyzing runs and wickets. It's about cracking the code of a business model that's as fascinating as the game itself.
Yeah, forget the scoreboard for a minute. And let's look at the economics. What's actually driving this financial success?
Exactly. So we've got this idea, right? Winning, optional, making money, guaranteed. It sounds kind of crazy, like a joke almost. But the IPL, they're not just playing by this rule, they're mastering it. Look at teams like Punjab Kings, Delhi Capitals.
Yeah.
Not exactly setting the world on fire with their trophy cabinets, are they?
No, not really.
Their sponsors, they're practically beating down the door. Punjab, despite not having the best home record lately, they've got 17 sponsors. 17,
Wow.
including a tools company. I still can't quite wrap my head around that partnership. Like power drills and T20 cricket, what's the connection?
I don't know, but it's brilliant. It just shows you the reach of the IPL, right?
Yeah.
Even teams that aren't winning all the time, they've got this massive presence, this appeal to brands. They're tapping into a huge market, millions of eyeballs, and that's marketing gold.
So how did they build this financial fortress, right? Like, what are the pillars holding this whole thing up?
Well, I'd say there are three main things. And the first one, the big one, is the media rights money.
Ah, the media rights jackpot.
It's exactly. This 5-year cycle, they're pulling in over 50,000 crore rupees. That's more than the entire economy of some countries. But here's the key. A huge chunk of that, like over 40%, gets split equally between all the franchises. Doesn't matter if you're the champion or if you finish last, you get the same cut.
So that's a level of financial security you just don't see in a lot of other leagues.
Right. I mean, think about the English Premier League. Winning is huge, obviously, but there's always that threat of relegation. You could be a top team one year, and then have a bad season, and boom, you're down a division. Your revenue takes a massive hit, and it can be really hard to recover.
Yeah, we've seen historic clubs in England really struggle after being relegated, even if they were successful in the past.
Exactly. But the IPL, there's none of that. No relegation, no fear of suddenly losing a huge chunk of your income. You're in, you're stable, and you're getting that big media rights check no matter what.
So that's like the foundation, right? This massive, equally shared pool of money. What's the second piece of the puzzle?
Sponsorships. This is where it gets wild. The IPL teams, they've got almost no limits when it comes to sponsors. Take RCB again. They've got 43 sponsors. That's more than Mumbai Indians, a team that wins consistently.
43. Seriously.
Yeah. They even have a renewable energy company as a sponsor. Like, you wouldn't necessarily think those two things go together, but it shows you how broad the appeal is. Everyone wants a piece of the IPL.
So it's not just about a logo on the shirt anymore. It's like everything is up for grabs.
Everything. The jerseys, the training kits, the stadium, even the breaks between overs. It's all prime advertising real estate.
It's like they're walking, talking billboard.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a huge part of why they're so successful financially. Manoj Baidal, who owns the Rajasthan Royals, he said the IPL is like the NFL in the U.S. It's got that long-term stability, the salary cap to keep things competitive, and a really fair commercial system. He called it a gold mine, and he's not wrong.
A gold mine. Okay, so we've got the media rights, the sponsorships. What's the third leg of this financial stool?
The third piece is the overall business model itself. It's like bulletproof. Even when the economy's shaky, the IPL just keeps chugging along.
Can you give an example of that? Like how resilient it really is?
Sure. Remember the Gujarat Titans?
Yeah.
So CVC Capital bought them in 2021 for 5,625 crore rupees. Less than 4 years later, they sold a majority stake to Torrent for 5,000 crore. That valued the whole team at over 7,453 crore, which is a 32% increase in just a few years.
That's insane. While other businesses are struggling, the IPL is booming.
It's almost like it's immune to recessions and stuff. And you have to give credit to the BCCI, too. They managed to keep the league going during COVID when everything else was shutting down. Plus, the IPL gets a 25% tax break because it's considered to be promoting the game of cricket.
A 25% tax break. That's a huge advantage.
It is. There's always debate about tax fairness and all that, but there's no doubt that it helps the IPL's bottom line.
And it's not just cricket that the IPL affects, right? It even impacts Bollywood.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The IPL is so huge, so culturally important, that even Bollywood has to work around it.
Yeah.
Big movie releases.
Yeah.
They try to avoid clashing with the IPL season because it just sucks up all the attention.
It's like trying to open a movie against the Super Bowl in the U.S. You're just going to get crushed.
Yeah, good analogy.
Yeah.
Shah Rukh Khan, the actor, he's also co-owner of Kolkata Knight Riders, and he said back in 2012 that the IPL's primetime TV slots, they can really hurt a film's box office. He basically said, if you want your movie to make money, don't release it during the IPL. That's coming from one of the biggest names in Bollywood. It shows you the power of this thing.
So to sum it all up,
Basically, the IPL has figured out a way to make money, tons of it, without having to rely on winning championships. And it's working. Teams like Punjab Kings, Delhi Capitals, they're proof of that. They might not be winning titles, but they're still attracting sponsors left and right.
because it's not just about the cricket, it's this whole other thing. Like you said, it's a 24/7 high-speed, non-stop money printing machine that just happens to have some cricket going on in the background.
Exactly.
The winners, financially speaking, they're already decided even before the season starts.
It's a system built for profit.
So here's a thought. If losing doesn't really hurt you financially in the IPL, what does that mean for the future? Will teams still be as hungry to win? Will they invest as much in developing young players? How will this affect the fans and their experience? It's a weird thing to think about, but it's the reality of the IPL. This league, it's unlike anything else in the world.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. But one thing's for sure, the IPL is here to stay.
And the money's going to keep flowing.
No doubt about it.
Yes.